This Sunday morning Q&A is brought to you by coffee. That smells so good. The smell of salted caramel is just like, I think this is just going to be a video of me breathing in like a Folgers commercial. Mama Two Cubs wants to know if we have tasted American guinea hog. I was talking in yesterday's video about how heritage breed pork versus crosses that the commercial carriers use. I've tried lots of different kinds of pork and I've never really noticed a taste difference in the breed as much as in how an animal was raised, what it was fed. And so no, I've never tasted American guinea hog specifically. I don't know if perhaps they taste much different than the other heritage breeds, but so far in my experience with raising 4 different heritage breeds and a commercial breed, all of them have tasted the same. The difference was in the feed and the lifestyle. So if you raise them on good feed and out on grass, they do taste better than what you would get like at the supermarket. Maybe one of these days I'll get to try American guinea hog. Ashley Power says, "Hey Aust, I've become interested in finding out more about sheep on the homestead." Then she asked if we'd ever raised them and what are my thoughts. Some of you may remember last year we had a sheep and she gave birth to a ram, and we raised those 2, but only for a few months because of what we found was we didn't have enough pasture at the time to sustain so many ruminants. So we wound up getting rid of the sheep and the goats. Since then we have improved the pasture area on our property, and I would like to get sheep back because lamb is a really good meat. We enjoy lamb, and sheep are really good grazers. They're good for the pasture. So overall, if you have the right property and you can sustain the sheep, that's great. Sheep would be an awesome addition, and I do think one day we'll have sheep again. Met SBC wants to know, do we have an LLC or a sole proprietorship? For the last 5 years, we have been running an actual farm business from our homestead. We've been producing pastured pork, pastured poultry. We've been selling that food to other families, and also we've been hosting classes on the farm, like hands-on chicken butcher classes where people are swinging knives around and trying to cut chickens in the throat. Yeah, we have an LLC. I did not feel comfortable just doing a sole proprietorship. As a sole proprietorship, you are essentially saying I am the business. And so if someone is mad at you because they cut their finger off at your chicken butcher class, they are suing you. Whereas an LLC, you say I'm not the business, that LLC is the business. And so if somebody gets mad at you, they have to sue that business first. This isn't legal advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I did. If you're thinking about starting a homestead business, something more than just selling to like your mom and dad, then you definitely should talk to an accountant, and you definitely should talk to a lawyer, and you should also be talking to an insurance man. And I know that means you're gonna spend a lot of money on stuff, and maybe your farm business isn't gonna make that much money. And that's the time where you have to ask yourself, well, is it really worth it then to become a business? Not professional advice for you. Go talk to those 3 people. Wayne asks, how do I know if my Nigerian dwarf goat is pregnant? Wayne, goats are really hard to tell if they're pregnant or not. We have a hilarious series of videos back when we were trying to get our goat pregnant. You can watch the breeding, and then time went by, we were thinking she was pregnant, and this is the crazy thing. We were seeing signs like she was pregnant, she even started to lactate, and then no kid. And we had the vet there to see if she was pregnant. The vet couldn't figure it out. It's a really hard one. Watch those videos there. It's a really funny series. So the answer is, yeah, it's hard to tell if your goat is pregnant. There are pregnancy tests that you can use for livestock. I've never used them, but if you're interested, there's a blood test and there's a urine test. I can recommend neither. However, I did see that Art and Bree, another homesteading channel here on YouTube, recently did the urine test. I'll link to their video there so you can go and check that out, Wayne, and maybe ask Art and Bree how their results turned out, because we've never done the urine test. Maybe give those tests a shot. When you're cooking coffee in the French press, you want to make sure that you pay close attention to your timing and your temperature, which means for my next question I have about 3 minutes to answer it, and then I have to pour this coffee so it doesn't get too bitter. So let's go to the next question. Our Blended Homestead asks, did you really just say Fern Gully? Yes, I really just said Fern Gully. Children of the 80s, enjoy that reference. Almost time to pour our coffee. We take our morning coffee in these little Yeti mugs. These things are awesome for coffee. Yetis are incredible at keeping temperature. I like a hot coffee. I hate when my coffee gets cold. So Yetis keep the temperature really nice, and they have lids with little magnetic sliders on them so you can actually keep it sealed until you're ready to enjoy your coffee. I'm always drinking coffee before Kendra even wakes up, so I make coffee, put the top on, seal it. It's still hot when she gets her coffee. I love these things. We'll link below to these Yeti mugs. Tyler talks about starting a homestead himself very soon, and he wants to know what states are best for homesteading. Tyler, this is one of those questions that I get a lot, that I wish I had a really easy, like, these are the 3 states, choose from these. Choosing the best states for homesteading is a lot like choosing what the best donuts are, right? Everybody knows that the best donut is a jelly-filled donut, right? No? You like a different donut? You like a Boston cream? Oh, okay, don't get me started on, no, you see what I'm saying? It's hard to pick a perfect one. So instead of telling you what the best state for homesteading is, here's my process for choosing where I want to homestead. Not too long ago, we were thinking about selling this homestead and moving. And so we made a spreadsheet. And in that spreadsheet, we had on the one side all the states that we were thinking of maybe moving to. And then across the top, we had all the different categories where we would score those states. So we broke it down by all these categories: work opportunities, homeschooling laws, hunting, the expense to live there, and that was broken down by price per acres, overall taxation, property tax, cost of living. We looked into environmental issues like fracking, and do a lot of people make meth? Legal issues around farming, raw milk, do they allow us to sell raw milk? You know, can you butcher chickens on your farm? That sort of thing. The weather. Weather is huge, but it's very personal. I like, you know, right in the middle there, but you might like one or the other. And so when we scored that entire list and we saw what was left, we found that for us, the best picks were Virginia, right at the top, North Carolina, although it was a little bit farther than we wanted to go for our families, Pennsylvania, the cost of living is great, there's a lot of really good farmland, Ohio, I hope that helps. I know it's not a quick, easy answer. There we go. Fancy cup of coffee. I love that salted caramel. So Sandy, one of our Homesteady pioneers, is having a problem with her chickens. By the way, Homesteady pioneers, they're people who help support our channel for $5 a month. They pay us $5 a month, and in return, we give them access to bonus classes, bonus content, discounts. You can check out the Homesteady Pioneer thing right there. It helps us do this channel, so if you like what we do here, that's the way to support us. Sandy wants to know, she needs some help with her chickens. We moved to 9 acres in May. We lost 13 hens in 2 days. Their heads were missing. After securing the hen house and locking them in for the evening, we found the remaining 8 dead. Any expertise would be appreciated. They're planning on ducks in a few weeks and goats in the spring. What are they not doing right? Sandy, missing heads, that's a telltale sign of raccoons. If there's any way a raccoon can reach his head into a coop and grab a chicken's head and just rip it off, Those dang raccoons love ripping off chicken heads. Just love ripping those heads off. They'll rip off as many as they can. A raccoon's hand is very small. It can fit through cracks, it can fit through broken windows. Even if you have chicken wire, a raccoon can stick his hand right through chicken wire and rip a head off. So what can you do? Well, make sure that the place you enclose your chickens in at night has no way for a raccoon to reach his hand in there. No cracks in the door, no windows, no chicken wire. You need a fully enclosed, very secure chicken house for nighttime. During the daytime, raccoons don't come out, so you don't need to worry about it. The chicken run can have chicken wire, but for nighttime, it needs to be a perfectly sealed box. I hope that helps. Anna is in Indonesia. She says she doesn't have a lot of land to homestead with, and she wants to know how much do we have and how did we find it. Anna, we have 10 acres here, but you don't need 10 acres to homestead. Even an acre or a half acre can do a lot. Most of the homesteading that we do, even with big animals like a cow and sheep and goats and pigs, most of that is only done on a couple acres. So you don't need 10 acres. The bulk of our land is actually just used for hunting. It took a while to find this property where we live. I obviously don't know very much about finding land in Indonesia, so I can't help there. I do know that the surfing is great in Indonesia, and someday I would like to go there and surf. But if you're looking for land, just know that it might take time to find the right homestead, and don't look for perfection. Find something that'll work. Once you find something that'll work, make it happen. Our place isn't perfect here. It's not large open fields with fencing already in place. It took a ton of work to get it to the point that it's at now, but that's part of the fun, is finding something where it's like a diamond in the rough and you know you can make it better. If you want to have a question answered on Sunday Q&A, all you have to do is leave a comment below or email me, aust@thisishomesteady.com. Consider becoming a Homesteady Pioneer. It's $5 a month, but we couldn't do the show without the Homesteady Pioneers. Your support is huge. Thank you, and we'll see you in all the videos coming this week.